Poachers.
Who, you? No, the best brewers of coffee, the Hebrews. That's the joke. But the other side of the story, coffee grounds. Do you know that coffee grounds has value? Yeah, it's true. It can kill ants on your property, not inside the house. Then slugs and snails. It's also used as fertilizer, source of nitrogen. It's not a joke, it's true. Just want to share.
Thank you.
Okay. This is my second time to be in Ponape. It was way back 2009, 8 years ago. And this is my fifth time to attend the PIALA conference. One in Palau, Guam first, 2012, 2014 in Palau, 2016 last year in Yap. It's nice to be back again. Before I start my lecture, did you receive that PIALA brief from ATA? They sent us a PIALA brief in the listserv. Did you receive that? You know my comment, my response to him? Is this PIALA brief for men only? So he told me, his response, bring all the briefs you can to Ponape. So my lecture are made of briefs. These are brief information about the state of libraries, archives, and museums in Guam. That is one. Okay. That's one.
You're clicking the pointer.
What do I click?
Click any arrow, not the pointer.
Arrow?
Yeah, you're almost there. Another.
Click?
You fix your own thing and
Because my name didn't appear. Okay. This paper attempts to present the status of libraries, archives, and museums in the Paradise Island of Guam. It focuses on their traditional roles and refocuses on the issues and challenges, on the impact of information and communication technologies. It will also help encourage the stakeholders to share their ideas, developments, challenges, and solutions on problems encountered. So what is the objective of this study? The objective of this study is threefold. On libraries, it covers the profile of librarians, library operation, collection development, organization of materials, library resources, circulation of library materials, internet services, photocopying services, physical facilities, and library awareness program. The second objective is on archives. It attempts to survey existing archives and come out with a number of institutions planning to set up an archives. The third one is on museums. It attempts to survey the existing museums and come up with a number of institutions planning to set up their own museums. So what was my methodology? The following methods were used in the study: survey questionnaire, telephone calls, checking of websites and visits. So this is the island of Guam. They stay somewhere here. You can Google Earth can see your residence. Known as the island where America's day begins and former typhoon capital of the Pacific. You know how I got this yung Guam, I like to buy collectibles from yard sale, garage sale, and I found out these military coins, 50 of them. But my money, I don't have $50. So I have to be resourceful, so I deposited, and I bought that for $50. Then I came back to the one who sold me. That's from a military retiree, but he's dead already, so we got those military coins. I found out military coins are given to the soldiers to honor them. And so many inscriptions, Typhoon Capital of the Pacific. I searched it on the internet, cannot find it. So that's why Guam was known as Typhoon Capital of the Pacific. Now, no more typhoons in Guam. But there's one. There's one. My wife. I call her Super Typhoon. So the wives here, don't be super typhoons to your husbands. Because one time my wife asked me, it is on Thanksgiving's Day, why is the turkey the symbol of Thanksgiving? You know what came to my mind? It's a tribute for women. You know that? Why? What does the chicken say? Huh? What does the chicken say? Huh? Come on. Yes. What about the duck? Wak wak. How about the turkey? Gobble gobble. And sometimes plop 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 plop. Right? So, women are loud. That's why it's a joke. So, Guam is an organized and incorporated territory and one of the 5 territories of the United States, with Agati at its capital. It lies in the Western Pacific and is the largest and the most populated among the Mariana Islands. The island is divided into 19 villages. Its present population, this is 2017, 174,432. Total land area is 444 square meter, 3 times the size of Washington, D.C. Sometimes I ask people when I ride in the plane, even the pilots, what do you call a person riding a plane from Washington, D.C. to Washington State? You know the answer? How about you? Somebody said passenger. It's true, passenger. When I was asked by a 10-year-old boy about that question, I didn't answer the correct one. So the government is divided into executive, headed by the governor and lieutenant governor. The legislative, headed by the speaker, vice speaker with 13 senators. The judiciary, Guam is composed of the Supreme Court and Superior Court, and the villages administered by the mayors and vice mayors. So now comes the first topic of this lecture, libraries. Oh, I forgot, sorry, I have to insert jokes. This is the definition, the latest definition of libraries from the Librarian's Book of List, published in Chicago, with the American Library Association 2010. It was written by George Everhart. So a library is a collection of resources in a variety of formats that is organized by information professionals or other experts who provide convenient physical, digital, bibliographic, or intellectual access and offer targeted services and programs with the mission of educating, informing, or entertaining a variety of audiences, and the goal of stimulating individual learning and advancing society as a whole. Don't worry, it's only 30 pages. You know why? Because my birthday falls on the 30th. That's missing. Happened. There. What is the educational system of Guam? The K-12 grades are administered by the Guam Department of Education. The private schools composed of Catholic schools and non-Catholic schools and the Dodea schools. Under the Guam Department of Education, there are 26 elementary schools, 8 middle schools, 5 high schools, 1 alternative school, including 2 charter schools. Under the private schools, we have 14 Catholic schools, 7 Christian schools, 3 non-sectarian schools. The Catholic schools are under the Diocese of Agana and supervised by the Catholic Schools Office, headed by the superintendent. Of the 14 Catholic schools are 4 in the pre-K and kindergarten, 7 in elementary and middle schools, and 3 high schools. The other school category is the Department of Defense Education Activity known as DODEA schools, made of 3 schools, 1 elementary school, 1 elementary middle school, and 1 high school. So what are the Guam Department of Education schools? Here you can see the logos of the schools. That's not Jollibee. They're known to have some symbols like insects, some animals, some fish. I'm not the DL Perez because my initial is O. That's Daniel. So how many elementary schools?
Those are elementary schools.
Yes. Public elementary schools. How many? Huh? 24? 26. So those are the elementary schools. Table 1 shows the GDOE, the Guam Department of Elementary Schools. So out of this 26, you can see their names, the village where they are located, the name of the librarian, and ethnicity. I studied also the ethnicities of the librarians of Guam. So as you can see, Adacao Elementary School is in Mangilao. The librarian is Thea V. Cortez, and she's Filipino. Agana Heights Elementary School is Agana Heights. The librarian is LD Pendon Limpiaco. She's Chamorro, Filipino. Astumbo Elementary School in Dededo, Bernadette C. Patron is the librarian, Filipino. Baltasar P. Carbolito Elementary School, Baltasar P. Carbolito Elementary School in Barrigada. Anita Artenorio is the librarian, is Chamorro. Captain Henry B. Price Elementary School, named after a naval captain, U.S. Navy captain. In Mangilao, Timothy Pedenco is the librarian, is Caucasian. Carlos L. Taitaro Elementary School in Sinahanya. Annette Guzman is the librarian, is Filipino. Chief Brody Memorial Elementary School in Tamuning. Mingarda B. Diola is the librarian, is Filipino. Daniel L. Perez Elementary School in Jigo. Femelin C. Weselowski. She didn't tell me her nationality, but using the internet and interviews, I found out she's Filipino. You know, as librarian, you should be resourceful. Even if they don't want to give information, you can do research. Then, Finigayan Elementary School in Dededo, no librarian. Harry S. Truman Elementary School in Santa Rita, Teres B. A. Bebautay sa library, sis Chamorro. Inarahan Elementary School, Jean B. San Nicolas. You will thought she's local, she's Chamorro, but I found out she's Caucasian. 1M Guerrero Elementary School in Dededo, Jennifer L. Woodard. You thought because the last name, no? She's Filipino. 1Q San Miguel Elementary School in Toto, Maria Angela T. Perez, Chamorro. Then, Liguan Elementary School in Dededo, Rose M.F. Sizemore, she's Caucasian. Then, Lyndon B. Johnson Elementary School, Tamuning, Nancy L. Kelly, she's Caucasian. Machananaw Elementary School in Jigo, Erlida S.N. Ariola, she's Chamorro. Then Manuel Yuluhan Elementary School in Jonya, Elizabeth Langas, I thought she's Filipino, but she's Chamorro. Marcial A. Sablan Elementary School in Agat, Maria Y. McDonald, she's Chamorro. Maria, how do you pronounce this? Ulloa? Huh? Ulloa. In Dededo, Melissa G. Gentapanan, she's Filipino. Meritzo Martyrs Memorial Elementary School in Meritzo, Margaret B. M.Y. Asuncion, she's Chamorro. Then Ordon Chalanpago Elementary School, these are Ordon Chalanpago, these are two villages combined into one. Patria U. Sablan, she's Chamorro. Pedro C. Lujan Elementary School in Barrigada, Debra S. Dueñas, Caucasian. Then Talopopo Elementary School in Talopopo, Alicia A. Diego, Chamorro. But she told me earlier that her mother is Panamanian, is from Panama. Then Tamuning Elementary School in Tamuning, it's Anar Dakanay. Because the last name is Dakanay, I thought she was Filipino, she's Chamorro, married to a Filipino. Then Upi Elementary School in Jigo, Silvia O. Taylor, Filipino. Then Wetengel Elementary School in Dededo, Lolita Torres, Filipino. Table 1 shows the names of the 24 and 26 elementary schools. The 17 villages where the schools are located, the names of the 24 librarians and their ethnicities. 5 Caucasians, 10 Chamorros, 9 Filipinos, and 1 Chamorro Filipino. So these are the middle schools. How many middle schools does Guam have? Let's see their logos. First one is F.B. Leon Guerrero Middle School. Then Inarahan Middle School, Astumbo Middle School, Jose L.G. Rios Middle School, Ocean View Middle School, Untalan Middle School. This is actually Luis P. Untalan. Vicente S.A. Benevente Middle School. Table 2 shows the GDOE middle schools. From Agida A. Johnston Middle School, she was a former, senator, right? One of the famous educators of Guam. This is found in Ordon Chalanpago. These are two villages. Luis Togawa is a librarian, she's Chamorro. Then Astumbo Middle School from Dededo, Stephen E. Taylor, he's Caucasian. Then Francisco B. Leon Guerrero, Middle School in Jigo, Angelica E. Blas is Chamorro. Inarahan Middle School in Inarahan, Lisa Q. Castro, the librarians is Chamorro. Jose L. G. Rios Middle School in PT, Edwin A. Lam, Chamorro. Then Luis B. Untalan Middle School, Lara M. Maquera, is Filipino. Ocean View Middle School, Agat. Doris A. Terlais is Chamorro. And Vicente S. A. Benavente Middle School in Dededo, no librarian. Table 2. Table 2 shows the names of the 8 middle schools, the 7 villages where the schools are located, the names of the 8 librarians and their ethnicities, 1 Caucasian, 5 Chamorros, and 1 Filipino. High schools, the GDOE high schools. The first one is the George Washington High School, John F. Kennedy High School. The George Washington High School is the oldest public school in Guam, way back 1936, and it's now the 3rd location. The John F. Kennedy High School is known as before as Upper Tumon Junior Senior High School. Then Okodo High School in Dededo. Then Simon Sanchez High School in Jigo, named after an educator. Then Southern High School, the latest is Tijan High School. Table 3 shows the DOE high schools. As I mentioned, George Washington, the librarian is Rosalind H. Unpincos, is Chamorro. John F. Kennedy High School, Krishnan Siringan, they thought he is Indian, but he is Sri Lankan. Okodo High School, Elena Uralbal, is Filipino. Simon Sanchez in Jigo, Ray Anthony Bentos is Filipino. Southern High School, the librarian is Robita Ann P. Alcantara, is Filipino. Tijan High School, Dolores I. Rosario, is Chamorro. And J.P. Torres Success Academy, formerly Alternative Schools in Santa Rita, Francis S. Balyares, is Chamorro, Filipino. Table 3 shows the names of the 7 high schools, the 7 villages where the schools are located, the names of the 7 librarians and their ethnicities, 1 Chamorro, 3 Filipinos, 1 Chamorro Filipino, and 1 Sri Lankan. There are 2 charter schools. These are also public schools, but they can accept private donations in terms of finances. Iron Academy in Dededo and the Guahan Academy Charter School in Agatnia. No librarians in these charter schools. So the Guam DOE librarians are coordinated by the Learning Resource Center coordinator by the name of Eloise R. Sanchez. And the mission of the Library Media Program is to provide information in a variety of formats, teach the skills to use them, and instill a desire in students to read and explore as lifelong learners. Annually, they conduct the School Librarians Conference, the objectives of which are the following: to collaborate with school and community about the Common Core State Standards and the American Association of School Librarians Library Standards and DOE Standards, with emphasis in improving reading literacy. To build library skills and professional development for librarians and other library personnel, and to provide library programs to improve student information literacy skills. Table 4 will show us the geographical distribution of the GDOE schools. As you can see, the name of the villages and how many elementary schools can be found in each village, middle school, and high school. Table 4 shows the geographical distribution of GDOE schools in the villages. So those heavily populated are the most with schools. So you see, we have 39 public school librarians, and in spite of repeated emails, calls, only 9 responded. The library hours vary and depend on the opening and closing of schools and locations. One factor for this is the use of the school buses, because we have limited school buses, so they have to change the schedules of the opening of the schools. Some elementary schools open at 8:15 and 8:30 a.m. and close at 2:45 and 3 o'clock p.m. Middle schools open at 8 to 8:30 a.m. and closes at 3:30 p.m. High schools open at 6:15 and 6:20 a.m. and closes at 2:15 and 2:30 p.m. All libraries have rules and regulations, including the use of electronic gadgets, except for the elementary, because they're not allowed to bring electronic gadgets, based on the uniform GDOE policies. When students use the library in between classes, they need a pass from their subject teacher and logs in the library. In our school, sometimes they go to the library, they don't have a pass. You know the reason? Go to the restroom. But they can be seen because the school have cameras. The budget of libraries are based on the passport funds. Several libraries accept gifts and donations from alumni, residents living off-island, and from business or civic organizations. As a result of the 2016 Public School Librarians Conference, they adopted a uniform retention and reading policies. Usually, there are library-teacher collaboration on the implementation of library programs. And the disaster preparedness plan are school-based. No library has its own. So what is usually the system used in the classification of library materials? In your libraries, what do you use?
Library of Congress.
Huh?
Library of Congress.
Library of Congress. What else? Usually in small libraries like elementary, high school, what do we use? Dewey Decimal Classification. Who invented the Dewey Decimal Classification? Huh? What's the first name? Melville Dewey. Melville Dewey is known as what? Father of? Father of what? He is known as the father of modern librarianship. And what else? What's his greatest contribution? Huh? No, because besides his classification scheme. No. What else? Paul. He founded the first what? The first library school. That's in Columbia College, now University. Remember, he was a founder of that. He's the father of modern librarianship. Okay?
Where is he from?
He's, what state is that? I forgot. Of course, in the United States.
Okay.
He was a small college library. He was a librarian there before he transferred. So the Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme. Actually, librarians are the most efficient library learners. You know why? We are fortunate to review our numbers from 00 to 900, right? And the English alphabet, right? From A to Z. That's the U.S. Library of Congress. What is A? Huh?
Channel work.
And C is last. What's letter Z?
Quality.
Library science and bibliography. Okay. All DOE school libraries uses the Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme, but not all of them accession their collection. Under the federal grant, they're using the Atrium Library Management System. It's implemented in all levels, whereby access to the collection can be found in the online catalog. There are only a few libraries which use electronic resources, and some still use audiovisual materials. Borrowing of books varies, with elementary school students borrowing 1 to 2 books at a time for a week. Middle school students 2 books for 2 weeks, and high school students 2 to 3 books at a time for 10 days and 14 days respectively. They don't charge for late fees because they say that they are poor students. That's what they say. All libraries have policies for return of damaged and lost books. Notices for overdue accounts are sent by paper and email. And they're starting an interlibrary loan now. What the special feature of these libraries, parents are allowed to borrow books. Imagine, do we do that here? In your islands? That's good. Photocopying
Some of the library card.
is free. Libraries are either managed by library science degree holders and certified librarians from the University of Guam's School of Education. Only high school libraries have technician. You cannot find it there. It's
You're
missing.
going back.
No, it's missing. There. Okay, we now go to private schools. Of the 9 Catholic schools with libraries, 6 elementary and middle schools, and 3 high schools, only 2 librarians responded. Huh? Yeah. I'm the one and the sister librarian of Academy of Our Lady of Guam. You know why? Because even during Catholic schools conferences, I ask teachers, what is the oldest Catholic school in Guam? They do not know. Father Dueñas Memorial School is the oldest Catholic school in Guam. It's a boys' high school. After that, the girls' high school followed, the Academy of Our Lady of Guam. But, Roland, do you know that the original plan that I read? A girls' high school besides Father Dueñas. That was the original plan. So, these are the first 2 Catholic schools on Guam. So, this is Father Dueñas Memorial School, where I worked since October 19, 2009. My parents scolded me because I should have started on August 1, but I opted for a vacation. Why on earth? You were hired already, you will do a vacation. A boys' high school and the first Catholic school on island. Its library opens from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And students who want to use the library in between classes must present a written note from his teacher. As found in the student handbook, the library has a set of rules and regulations, which includes the use of electronic gadgets. They cannot play games in the library. Before, I was so strict. I really confiscate their laptops, their cell phones. I don't give warnings. But right now, I'm a little bit, what's that? Lenient. Because I give them warnings. Because the library is a place, they say, this is not a classroom, this is the library. But you use the library as a classroom, right? And we follow a library calendar. My assistant has a library calendar. when students, when teachers want to use a library and it's a conference room, they have to check with their email and we put in the calendar. There's no regular budget for the library, but we buy from time to time as need arises. Gifts and donations come from the alumni and follows its retention and bidding policies. There are 6 journal subscription. It has also a teacher-faculty collaboration, but no disaster preparedness plan. The Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme is used with the Cutter's table for the author's numbers. I understand that you use the first 3 letters of the last name of the author. Me, I use the Cutter's table. It was devised by Charles Abbey Cutter. So we assign the first letter of the last name and a number, usually from 2 to 3 numbers. And I do the year of publication. It started way back in 1978 when they changed that Anglo-American cataloging rules. We put the year of publication. Books are accession, and the searching for the collection is through the resource-made online catalog. The old card catalog was dispensed already when the library was automated. The library at present has 5,156 volumes of non-fiction, 2,094 fiction, and reference books, while electronic resources can be accessed by contacting the library technician. One problem in the library that I always encounter, do your students push in the books? Huh? I don't know, why do they do that? Are they getting back at us? Or they just play around? Huh? They push in the books, I don't know. In spite of repeated warnings. 4 books at a time may be borrowed for 2 weeks, including weekends and holidays. What's this? And can be renewed by visiting the library or by email. Late return of books is charged 25 cents per day with a maximum of $20. Sometimes they borrow the book for months. They say, we lost the book. I told them, you're just too lazy to find the book. Then they return it, so we have a maximum of only $20. There are 16 computers, actually 17, but the other one is no longer functioning, for internet purposes and printing of assignments. There is one photocopying machine using the coin-operated system. Black and white printing is charged 25 per site, while colored printing is $1 per site. They say we are the highest in charging the students. With 6 tables, the library has a seating capacity of 48, including a conference room that can accommodate 20 students. 2 security alarms are installed, and they play with the security alarm. First time when we installed it, what is that for? Checking for your cell phones. Because before, cell phones were disallowed in the school. We have 2 restrooms. So there's a sign there, strictly for urinating only. But sometimes they can do it. One time, one student, he has not done it for 2 days. Wow, the smell. And one for the other one for faculty and staff. Formal library instructions are done yearly for freshmen and sophomores. From time to time, teachers use the library for classes, and the library technician maintains an online library calendar. Okay. So the library is managed by yours truly and Bobby and Macintosh. Bobby is a she, not a he. This is the second school which responded, the Academy of Our Lady of Guam. The Academy of Our Lady of Guam, known as AOLG, the library opens from 7:30 to 4 p.m. and has its set of rules and regulation, including the use of electronic resources and gadgets. Students who need to use the library in between classes should have a written permission from subject teacher. The library has a regular budget and receives gifts and donations from alumni, students, faculty, and friends. It follows its retention and reading policies. The library faculty collaboration is done, especially about required reading books. The disaster preparedness plan is in line with that of the school, as the library is part of the school building. The Dewey Decimal Classification System is used and books are accessioned. Though not automated, the information on the collection are stored in the computer and thus a regular inventory from the old card catalog and has an old card catalog for backup. Both non-fiction and fiction books are found in the library with some audiovisual materials but no electronic resources. 2 to 3 books are borrowed at a time for 2 weeks and can be renewed again, excluding weekends and holidays. Borrowers are notified by print and email of overdue accounts. Late fee is 25 cents per day. Lost or damaged books should be replaced. The school has no interlibrary loan, but willing to do so. It has a security alarm. For internet use, the library has 26 computers. Photocopying black and white copy costs 25 cents per site and 75 cents per site using the coin-operated system. With an area of 1,973 square feet, the seating capacity is 70 with 5 reading tables and 14 individual carrels. Library instruction is done to freshmen and new students and follows a handbook that is used also for accreditation purposes. Newsletters and handouts are provided. Table 5 shows the names of the Catholic schools, the village where they are located, the name of the librarian or library technician, and ethnicity. Of the 4 preschool and kindergarten schools, no libraries. Of the 7 elementary schools, 1 school has no library. So these are their names and the ethnicities. Joanna ko is the newest library technician and she recently joined the Guam Library Association. One good thing that is happening now with the Catholic schools, the school superintendent met us last November 1. So at least he's making developments on how can we modernize the libraries, and one of the graduates of the LEAP program, our Dean of Academic Affairs, is also a librarian at UOG, Dante Perez, is making a study on how Catholic school library technicians can be certified by the University of Guam School of Education. Table 5 shows the names of the 14 Catholic schools, na libraries in the preschool, kindergarten, 6 libraries in the middle schools, and 3 libraries in high schools. Only the librarian from Brother Dueñas Memorial School has 2 degrees in library science, ably assisted by a library technician, and the librarian of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, and the rest of the schools managed by library technician. Under ethnicities, 6 are Chamorros and 3 are Filipinos. Table 6 shows the school locations in the villages of the preschool and kindergarten, elementary and middle schools. Table 7 give us the names of the Christian schools, their location, librarian or library technician names, and ethnicity. No response from the 7 Christian schools. I think only the one from Harvest Christian School is the librarian. I talked to him, but he didn't respond to the questionnaire. So table 7 shows the names of the 7 Christian schools. 3 schools have no libraries, and the rest managed by library technicians or assigned teachers, and composed of 1 Caucasian and 1 Japanese. There are other private schools